Our main mission at M3 Cycling really is to provide a platform for kids who really have barriers, social barriers or economic barriers, a way to get into the sport. I got involved in cycling probably about 3 years ago, and one of the things I noticed within the sport, there wasn't a whole lot of juniors around. I have a 8-year-old son, and he really likes cycling, but it was really this one race that I did, the Jamestown Classic, that really kind of formalized or put it into perspective of this is what I really needed to do.
I wasn't prepared mentally or physically for that race.
I was out on the course alone. I remember being cold and windy.
A fourth of the way through the second lap, I kind of dropped back. I was pretty much done.
I saw a rider off in the distance, and something inside of me kind of clicked. And, as a cyclist, a competitive cyclist, I was like, let's see if I can catch him.
In my mind, I was like, oh, I'm gonna quit. It's like, there's no way I'm finishing this. My legs were burning.
It kind of looked like he wanted to quit.
Out of nowhere, Jason comes behind me.
Something within me, I guess maybe my Marine Corps or having my son or something in me just kind of welled up and said, no, not on my watch.
And when he caught up, I was like, oh, look, another rider. I haven't seen one of those in a while.
So I got up next to him, I said, come on, kid.
And he's yelling at me to keep going. I'm like, who's this guy? I don't even know him, and he's yelling at me to keep going.
We started going, and he kind of came alive again.
And it was like, wow, maybe I can do this. I can finish this.
We went a couple more miles and caught up to another junior rider, got popped off the back, and they kind of rode together for maybe a mile or so, and then we caught up to a couple more stragglers, and next thing you know, it was 4 of them.
So we started picking up the pace a little.
And this was the defining moment for me, was sitting on the 5th wheel in the back. And as I was, we ran along, something instinctively just said to me, let's get these kids to work together. So I pulled out, said, you guys ever done a rotating pace line before?
In my head, I'm like, what the heck is a pace line?
And for the next 2 to 3 miles, that was probably my best experience on a bike. These kids were just rotating in and out from separate teams, all coming together.
We get to the downhill, and he's like, why are you slowing down? And like, the finish line is just not even 100 meters. Just go down this hill as fast as you can. I remember sprinting down the hill, and at that point, I didn't feel my legs anymore. We made it through the finish line, and I don't think I've ever felt so happy that I finished something that I thought I couldn't do. It was like an amazing feeling. It was like a spark to do more, to learn more, and to do better.
That really solidified M3 cycling for me. This was a way not only to give back to the larger community, but also to provide a platform for my son to grow up to, too, so he can be part of something bigger in the world. Who doesn't want to ride a bike? When you're a kid, one of the greatest feelings you have is when you get on your bike, that freedom you get from the training wheels coming off and you're gone. I don't think you ever really lose that. Today we grow up with baseball and football and all these traditional sports and easier access points into the sport. But for cyclists who really want to become part of a team, and then if they choose to be competitive, there's not a whole lot of options for them today. Particularly with social and economic barriers, buying bikes and providing training rides and uniforms and things of that nature. And a lot of kids don't even have a way to get into the sport. And we want to be that organization that can do that.
After a race, I think it was the Jamestown race, I got this call from Jason, who I've never met before, and he was all excited about to start this team. And I was like, excellent, because that's, I wanted something for Ray, and I didn't know how to do cycling.
So we wanted to kind of bring more life skills training into it and make it more of a program where there'd be lasting effects out, just kind of beyond the bike. Basically using the bike really as a tool to really develop the whole person. It's more of a holistic approach.
There weren't that many teams that had juniors in it, and I always felt kind of like left out, just being like the only like young kid there. Now on this team, I have all other kids to reference with, and we all can strive for the same goals and help each other.
One of the things I've learned professionally as a life coach and counselor is, particularly with younger kids, they really need the attention. So one of the things we looked at that was important to me is having kind of a one-on-one basis with one mentor for one rider.
I don't think it's like a racing team, it's more like family. We take care of each other. Jason's always calling me up, checking how I'm doing in school and just my everyday life.
The uniqueness of our program is the one-on-one relationship model that really gives full attention.
Being a part of the team has definitely pushed me, and I've learned to and grown in that area of pushing myself to do more all the time. What it's taught me to do is to just keep doing the right thing and push harder and never give up. Pain is very momentary. It's not going to last for a long time.
We're building a community here. It's not just the bike, a rider, you race and you win races. It's more of like a family feel.
It really has helped Ray to get some confidence, to have his own niche, to have his own identity, really. So I was excited when my other son wanted to join the team.
At the beginning, I was like, I just really want to win races. Like, that was my goal. But now it's more of I want to work together with my team to help win races rather than just me do it by myself.
We take care of each other. If someone's falling back in a race, we help each other out, even if it means that we might not come in first, but it's not about coming in first, it's about helping others and yourself.
Sometimes racing isn't just about winning. It's about teamwork and cooperation and just having fun.
The feeling of knowing that you helped someone else finish a race.
It doesn't matter if I win or lose, as long as I'm having fun and I'm gaining experience, that's what counts.
I think the most important part of being a member of M3 is mostly just the atmosphere and just having fun with all the new friends I've made. I mean, I've made friends with all the coaches, all the other juniors. It's just been a fun time.
It was not only great meeting all these guys and hanging out with mentors that are way older than me that I could really look up to, but also kids that I can inspire and they can inspire me because we're in the same age group.
It's exciting to see them grow in their confidence. Each one of them is learning their strengths and their weaknesses.
The whole point of this program, where our hearts were to begin with, was providing an infrastructure and access points for people who had socioeconomic barriers. That was really the key. That's one of the things, we, with the limited resources we had this season, were able to do is put some bikes together through, parts that we either donated or some money that was donated to the team, and we're able to equip kids so they have an opportunity to ride.
After joining M3, I've definitely worked on my pedal stroke a lot. That's one thing that they wanted me to work on, which I thought was a tremendous help. Another thing would be to work on the basics of racing, like pace lines, all different types of tactics.
I didn't really know all that much about cycling when I started. There's actually a lot of strategy involved of when to push yourself and when to reserve your energy and when to just sail in the pack.
And we've had huge success. I don't even know how many races we won, maybe 10 races, been on the podium, top 5, top 10. Our last race of the season, we got 3 top 10s with the junior riders, so it was awesome.
Throughout the season, we kind of started finishing closer and closer with the pack. By the end of the season, we were finishing pretty much like top 15, top 10.
I definitely feel like I had a successful season last year.
I felt like I had a very successful season. I've definitely worked hard.
I went from 0% to pretty darn good in the space of a year.
I participated in 4 or 5 races. I got 3rd place in one and 8th place in the other one.
What I really want to do is take this year as the motivation to push myself into doing more next year.
One of the things our program does is it provides a stepping stone, a platform for any juniors who want to remain competitive and go off into the higher echelons of the sport and even at the pro level. And as we develop moving forward, I see a lot more life skills training being brought in, a lot more classes, clinics, cycling camps.
It's meant a lot to me.
It's exhilarating to honestly just go out and have fun.
I do good, and that's what I like about it.
Man, this is what I want to do. This is really fun.
It was a great feeling, crossing the finish line knowing I got 2nd place.
The other cool part is we get to be kids too. So as the adults, we get to kind of play in and we race.
I actually purchased a bike so I could go out riding with them. I'm not as good as them.
To watch the kids excel is a reward in and of itself. Providing a platform for kids who really don't have access points into the sport of cycling. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what our program is about. Every kid wants to ride their bike. There's not a kid that doesn't.